So Die of Death just updated with their new fashionably late update. Now I won't go into detail on every little thing they added, because the main focus of this video are the badges. And oh boy, are there a lot of them. 64 in total. So this will be part 1 of getting every single badge in Die of Death. Now, starting off this recording, I already had 7 badges from when I previously played the game. And after scrolling through the badge list, I found an easy one I could get in the lobby. And with that, we are at 8 badges out of 32. In the first game I played, I end up choosing block. Now, because of my immense skill, I was able to block a fatal attack and get a badge. We end up winning the match since the Artful only had 7 killer wins. The second round was Gunslinger, and I ended up getting into LMS. Now, me being the professional Die of Death player that I am, I end up easily winning the LMS without... So it turns out that I actually suck at this game because I died 2 more times without getting any badges. During this next game, I got my first synergy. Not only was it a new moveset, but it also got me a badge. I also end up completing my first survivor task, giving me another badge. With that, we are now at 11 out of 32 badges. In this next game, we get an AFK kill droid and end up killing him. Because I took no damage, I got the Tis But a Scratch badge. In this next game, I end up healing someone with 15 HP, granting me a badge. In that same match, I end up getting so obese that the game feels bad for me and gives me a badge. Also in that same match, I end up dying because of my obesity. The next round ended up being golf. Now I had absolutely no idea on how to play golf. This was my first time ever getting this game mode, and I knew it had a lot of badges tied to it, so I tried my hardest. I did end up getting a badge for scoring a hole, which was nice, but it was also the only badge I got, since I died shortly after. In my next killer match, I ended up getting a badge. While it was pretty cool, I still lost the LMS shortly after. The next couple games were mostly me just dying over and over again. While using the new reroll class, I ended up getting a badge. With that, we are now at 17 badges out of 32. Most of the badges have just been things that I could get by just mindlessly playing the game. However, some of them require a lot more focus. So from now on, I'm going to skip over the more easy badges and focus on the hard ones. I don't usually play bad wear, but there was a specific badge that I was going for. That badge being Man vs. Machine. The thing that made this badge hard is Badware's new rework. Originally, it would take a group of survivors around 20 seconds to deactivate one of Badware's computer. Now, the computers passively go down at a pretty quick rate. This makes it much harder to get all 4 down at once. And to add the cherry on top, for some reason my third ability, Bolt, wouldn't work. By the time I got to LMS, I only had 2 computers on the map, and one of them was already at 50% power. I managed to place my third computer on the bridge to catch up to the survivor once he ran away. Instead, he turned invisible. This meant that he couldn't run far away, so I knew I had enough time to place my 4th computer. And with that, I had gotten the badge. Now all I needed to do was kill him, which was easy enough. The next round ended up being Evil Scary. Now this was very important, as Evil Scary had its own badge tied to it, that being Lucid Nightmare. The badge itself is just a matter of timing the block with Evil Scary. In case you didn't know, Die of Death added 2 small mini-games in the arcade. Each minigame has 2 badges that can be obtained. This video will only be focusing on the cookie clicker type minigame. The 2 badges that this minigame has to offer are simply rebirth badges. Those badges being Born Again and Born Again. The first badge only took me around 4 minutes. The second badge took me around 12 minutes. If you made it this far into the video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you couldn't already tell, I suck at editing, and any type of support would be greatly appreciated. And with that, we have the badge. After I got off the mini-games, I decided to go for the Fear and Hunger badge, earned by winning the Sightbreaker LMS. The Sightbreaker LMS is between the Pursuer and the Flashlight Survivor. I would say that Pursuer is probably my best killer, considering the fact that I was able to kill most of the lobby fairly quickly. And with that final kill, it was time for the LMS. That was surprisingly easy. Anyways, that win gave me 2 new badges. Not only did we get Fear and Hunger, but we also got Anyways, we now have a total of 26 badges. So let's do a little speed run to get closer to 32. For this badge, I just got low, then purposely died while emoting. After a while, I had finally gotten Double Trouble, which has its own badge. The badge requires you to survive an LMS as a survivor in Double Trouble, meaning that as killer it is impossible to get. My main strategy for this badge consists of hiding in a corner the whole game so you survive till LMS. And as can be seen here, it worked out. So now all I had to do was survive the whole LMS with 2 killers focused on me. And I'm not gonna lie, the Artful was actually good at the game and getting lots of hits on me. And boom, we got the badge. This round was Dienation, which also has its own badge. Now the strat for this mode is similar to Double Trouble. We just need to stay far away from every other killer to make sure that I don't take damage. Now luckily for me, this map had a lot of spots to hide in. After a while, the storm started closing in, so I had to find a better hiding spot. What makes Pursuer one of the best killers for this game mode is the fact that you can literally just go invisible. After a couple of minutes, it came down to the final 3. I didn't know if they had more or less health than me, so I decided to attack a bit, then retreat. After a bit, the kill droid eventually died, so I decided to attack the Artful since I assumed he had less health than me. I was only a couple hits away, but he had less health, so I ended up winning. And that's another badge down. The next badge I was going for required me to not use any abilities as a survivor. This was fairly easy as I just camped in the corner while my team got killed. We are now only 3 badges away from 50%ing all the badges. In this next round, I was playing as Kill Droid. I wanted to get the double kill badge. Instead, I accidentally hit someone from across the map, giving me a different badge. For this next game, I used Bungle as for a badge I needed to boost 5 people at once. That was fairly easy. And finally, for this last badge, all I needed to do was just spend 10 minutes inside the library. And with that, I finally have half of Die of Death's badges. If you want me to get the rest of these badges in part 2, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And don't forget to have a great day.